watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to Inspiring Leaders. I'm Donna Chandler Newman, your host for Inspiring Leaders, our program, and we thank you for watching our show. Now, through this show, we meet community leaders and we examine how they're using their unique talents and skill sets to make a difference. And through our discussions, we hope to inspire others to discover and to share their own leadership abilities for the overall betterment of our community. Today on our show, we'll focus on the exceptional work of Les Passés, a women's volunteer organization that's been loving Memphis for more than 100 years. In this first portion of our show, we meet Karen Whittington, President, and Janine Carney, Board Member and Associate Chair of Les Passés. They'll catch us up on the latest philanthropic work this revered organization is doing to improve our community. And they also are going to tell us all about their current annual stock exchange fundraiser. Can't wait. Now, in the second segment of our show, Karen and I will be joined by Devin Schneep, Executive Director of a nonprofit group named Multinational Memphis, an intriguing organization that Les Passés currently supports, and I think you're going to enjoy hearing about them. I know I did. Joining us now is Karen Whittington, President of Les Passés, and Janine Carney, Board Member and Associate Chair of Les Passés. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're with us today, and I'm just so glad to see you both. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you, Donna. We're happy to be here.
Always happy to see Les Passés, and by the way, full disclosure, I'm actually a member of Les Passés and proud to be so. So, Karen, let's start with you. You're currently our president. Tell us how you first became involved with Les Passés.
Well, I was new to the Memphis area and just really wanted to learn more about Memphis. I had two small children, and a sweet friend, Deena King, invited me to attend a prospective member party, and that's how I found out about what Les Passés has done, their history in Memphis, and what they do, and it sounded intriguing, and that was 15 years ago. So real thankful that she gave me the opportunity to join.
Well, I'll tell you what, as a member of Les Passés, I'm thankful too, because you're one great president, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
And you agree, don't you, Janine?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Janine, you're an associate like me right now. Tell me, I know you're on the board, tell me how you first became involved with Les Passés.
Well, like Karen, it was a friend that I met through another organization, and she'd been a longtime member of Les Passés, and she first pulled me in talking about the cabaret ball and how they have living ads. And I had a daughter who was a junior in high school and then could be eligible to be a living ad as a senior. So that's how I came in. It was again through a friend.
Oh, that's perfect. That's how I came in too, also through a friend. So that's a great network, it really is. So, okay, loving Memphis for 100 plus years is a very long time for any organization. I know that the mission of Les Passés has evolved over time. Tell me how that's happened. What is the history and how has the mission evolved, Karen?
So our mission is to basically advocate and support families in Memphis, especially the children and their families, and that has looked different over the years. When we first started in 1910, it was more helping with the Memphis community, but as we started seeing the need in the medical community, tuberculosis was an issue with not only mothers but children. We got involved in that. Then in the 1950s is when we stepped in and really did a lot of work with cerebral palsy, which then worked with even other special need children, and we built the Les Passés Rehabilitation Center that even adults were a part of. So for the first half of our history, even more than that, that was a lot of what we focused on. And then once we got into the 2000s is when we decided to work more with education, and that's when we kind of aligned ourselves more with facilities that were working in classrooms with children. And then from there we started working with grantees.
I was going to say, in the last few years, that's been a very new approach. The grantee program. Tell me how that came about. And
I think we just realized there was such a need and such a diverse need of areas, different organizations that needed our help. So that's where we decided to branch out. So what we started doing in 2022 is we have an actual grantee program where people apply for grants, and then we have a board that meets and discusses and then evaluates how to spend our money and help those. So it looks a little different every year, which has really been nice.
And all of that information, if you wanted to apply, all of that information is on lpmemphis.org.
Yes, all that is found on our website, and we have not, we're not taking any more grant applications for 2024 for next year, but in the spring of next year we'll have all the information for the grants we'll give out next year for 2026. So,
well, that's amazing. It really. Okay, so this year I think there are 3.
Yes,
one
there
of
are.
them is with us today,
Yes,
Multinational Memphis.
yes.
Tell me who the other 2 are.
The other 2 are the Neighborhood Christian Center and then the Madonna Learning Center.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, we've been really excited to work with all 3 of them.
I would think so. There's 3 this year, right?
Yes, there are 3 this year.
There's no limits to what you'll do other than how much money you've got, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
It's kind of just based on the grant requests we get, and then just trying to figure out what's the best use of the money, where the needs are the largest. So yeah.
And where you can have the most impact, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that's perfect. All right, so in order to give away that much money, you've got to raise a lot of money, and I think most of it is raised, or the biggest piece is raised at the stock exchange. Janine, talk about stock exchange.
Oh, stock exchange. I love to talk about stock exchange. For those people who don't know what it is, it's a consignment store. I mean, a large consignment store.
Very large.
And we start taking items in the middle of August, and then we usually do a preview party the first week of September, and then we're open for shopping. And the hours are 10 to 4, Tuesday through Saturday, and then Sunday 1 to 4, and we're closed on Mondays. And our location this year, because we change every year, we will look for a building that somebody would give to us free. And this year, thank you to the Bells for
Yes.
giving us this wonderful location.
It is an amazing location.
Yes, and it's 5258 Summer Avenue. And it's just, if you come off the north side, you see the at-home store, used to be Garden Ridge. We're in that strip mall right behind it.
Yes.
And
Okay.
for consigners, it's a wonderful opportunity. You pay $25, bring your items in. You can bring 50 for that $25, and when your item sells, you get 70%. Le Passé keeps 30. And we are talking about furniture, rugs, china, crystal, silver, paintings, original art, signed and numbered art. I mean, garden items. We cover the gambit.
We even have furs this year.
Yes,
yes,
that's
so-
the only clothing item we take are furs.
Yes.
So this is a consignment store, but this isn't a garage sale. This is
No,
very
it's
upscale.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So with it being an upscale, and Le Passé keeps 30%, and that's the money that gets given away. that
Right.
30%.
Between that and the money that our very generous sponsors have given us, that
Okay.
is where we have the money to fund our grantees. Yes.
Well, okay, so when I think about that, as a consigner, I'm taking home 70%, so I actually made some money too, right?
Oh, definitely.
yes.
That's,
Oh, yes.
It's a win-win. And we often find people that come in to consign things shop. So sometimes you can bring some old stuff in that's old to you and find new stuff, but we like to say shopping for a cause. We all need an excuse to shop.
And it's a turnover. When people buy and it goes out the front door, we have more consigners coming in the back door.
Yes.
So we have people that come, at least once a week, sometimes once a day,
To
just to
shop.
see the new stuff,
Yes.
the new things that come in.
So if I come in and see something that I absolutely love, and I say, well, I don't know if I really want that, I'll come back tomorrow, what then?
Ooh, I'd be careful. Things fly out so quickly. Oftentimes, as soon as it walks in the back door, we put it on the floor, it's going to the register and out the door.
All the way.
And we had, I think today, 30 to 40 appointments of people coming in consigning items, which is nice because you can set an appointment. So you're in and out, hopefully within an hour consigning, but we keep it rolling. That's one thing I think we're known for is just new merchandise
You
every
know,
day.
at this point, the other day when I checked, there was 17,000 items on the floor. Is that right?
Yes.
I mean, that sounds astronomical, and it is, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it is, and we have 4 sections of that strip mall,
Yes.
and they're all full.
Yes.
That's
They're
amazing.
awful.
Yes, they
God
are.
bless the bells, right?
That, yeah, it
God
is such a
bless
wonderful
them.
space.
It
is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've been over there on that place on Summer, but the consignment coming in the back is also easy. If somebody wanted to bring their furniture, they hire a mover, correct?
Correct?
Yes, they can.
And-
We will help you get it in the door if you can just get it to us. We have gentlemen, we call them our red shirts, and they help us with bringing in the items. So if someone can just get them to our loading dock, we're good from there.
And that's probably part of the best part because the location is free for us and all the work is done by volunteers.
It is.
Is
We
that
have
right?
A lot of women with huge passion. And going back to why I joined, one of the reasons I joined is there are women who have been so involved in Le Passé for not just 5 years, 10 years, but 20 years, 30 years that have such a passion. And when Stock Exchange started in the late 1980s, it started small, and what it's grown into, we just have a lot of women that have a lot of passion
For
Stock Exchange, yes.
And this is our 38th year
You're kidding.
to do Stock Exchange.
Yes.
38 years.
And every year it just keeps growing.
And no matter what we get in the back door through Stock Exchange, we still couldn't do anything without our sponsors.
Oh, definitely. Our sponsors make it happen too, yes. And we like to honor them throughout the year with ways of just showing them how much we appreciate them, because we have several that have been sponsors, I don't know how long.
Long time.
Yeah.
And you know, the other thing I think we failed to mention, at least I didn't ask you this, is it fun to be a member of Stock Exchange
yes.
and volunteer in the back?
It is. It is. It's just wonderful, personally for me, just to be around like-minded people that just really enjoy the work. When we're there, no 2 days are the same. We get fascinating things, and we always joke. Sometimes something will come in that we look and go, okay, well, that's not my taste. And it's one of the first things sold. And when people bring things into consign, often they have a story. And that is, yes, I enjoy being on that end of it, where I'm receiving items in and just listening to the history. And oftentimes people,
They end up joining and coming into Le Passé as members because they come year after year to consign, and then boom, they say, I want to join this organization. I love what you do.
We also make money on a magazine,
yes.
correct?
Yes.
Which is this year is already put to bed, but for next year we certainly welcome ads.
We do. That is one way that we actually advertise Stock Exchange, and it's full of articles and information about not just Le Passé, but things pertaining to Memphis. And yes, we have those kind of scattered throughout the city. So we try to get the word out through the magazine too.
So if you wanted more information on how to donate to Le Passé or on how to become involved in any way, what would you do?
I would go to lpmemphis.org, and our website should walk you through it, let you know what's new, what's going on, how to donate, what events we have going on.
And if you want to consign, you also go to lpmemphis.org to set up the appointment and to get the first forms.
Yes, if you go under events, it will take you to all the information, and we actually call it consigner login, and from there, that's where you would set your appointment.
You know, Le Passé does excellent work, and I'm delighted to see grantee program now. That grantee program allows Le Passé to reach into other organizations. I'm looking
does.
forward to seeing Multinational Memphis, who was chosen last year.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to hearing about that. And I want to thank you both for all the excellent work that you do. Thank you for being in our
you.
community, and thank you for loving Memphis.
Oh, thank you,
Thank you, Donna.
Thank
It's
you.
an honor.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now, Karen, you'll stay here with me a few minutes?
Sure.
Okay, good. We'll bring Devin in and we'll talk Multinational Memphis. We're going to pause now for a short break, and when we return, Le Passé President Karen Whittington and I will be joined by Devin Schneep, Executive Director of Multinational Memphis.
Cut to Win and Q Talent.
The GHS Fine Arts Department is composed of 6 different disciplines, including instrumental music, which is both band and the strings or orchestra.
My belief is that band is the life of the school. If the band's not fun, the school's not fun.
There's choral music with a variety of different levels for our students, from women's choir, an a cappella group.
So choir is an excellent opportunity for you to engage in the music making process and to create relationships and bonds with your fellow classmates.
We have our theater program, which includes acting and tech theater.
It'll teach you how to be a better communicator, it'll teach you how to work with people better, and it'll teach you how to get outside your comfort zone.
We have GHS-TV and the intro classes that go into GHS-TV.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to GHS Insider, the show that's all about the G.
So GHS-TV tries to model a real working station.
And we have a visual arts program that goes up into AP courses and also includes IB level.
I think the arts are really important because they provide students with that safe space where they can express themselves, they can be who they really want to be.
The specificity of what is taught and required to be learned here in this department is so particular that they're going away with abilities and skills that other schools aren't teaching.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Donna Chandler Newman, and you're watching Inspiring Leaders. We are pleased to continue talking now with Le Passé President Karen Whittington and to be joined by Multinational Memphis Executive Director Devin Schneep. Well, thank you for staying, Karen.
Sure, thank
and
you.
welcome, Devin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to see you. Well, okay, so first and foremost, tell us how and when you became acquainted with Multinational Memphis.
Yes, so I began working at Multinational 11 years ago this month. I had just graduated college with a degree in child development, and I was looking to work somewhere in the city with children and families, and I didn't have a ton of direction on that. I just had a friend working at Multinational, and she said, while you're looking for jobs, why don't you come work for us part-time? So I did that and fell in love with it, and so I've been there ever since. Yeah.
And so you came up through the ranks, if you will.
Yes.
And Laurie Graves, the founder, named you executive director, and that's actually wise because many founders don't consider sustainability, but you are in the position to keep the organization going, right?
Yes. Yeah, and she actually asked me probably a few years in, and the first time I said no, and then a few years later she said, what do you think? And I said, okay, yeah, I think I want to do it, and I'm supposed to do it. So yeah, it's been a good transition.
That's not a new organization, Multinational Memphis. It's like, how old is it?
30 years, been around 30 years.
30 years old, and yet you're a new 501c3.
Yes.
That's the official tax code for nonprofit.
Yes.
How long have you been a nonprofit officially?
Since 2019.
Well, gosh, okay, so you're still putting some of those things together, correct?
Yeah.
I know it changes a little bit from just being a loose organization because there's so many rules and things affiliated with it. Are you enjoying that? Has it changed much from you all?
Yeah, so it's been a really good process. We came up underneath a parent organization, Memphis Leadership Foundation, and so when we branched out, we had some things in place. Laurie spoke with a lot of wise people in the community that gave us such great advice. So there's really, I feel like, a community supporting us and helping us like take the journey, and still doing that. And so we always, seek counsel where we can and just try to do everything the right way and the wise way.
Now, I know there are other organizations that do things for immigrants and refugees and people coming into our country, but you are one of the few that handles the services you do. Talk about who you sponsor, who your clients are, and exactly what your services are.
Yeah, so we work with children and family in the Memphis area who typically have an immigrant background, and so in their homes, English is typically not the first language. We partner with schools to get referrals, and we have after-school programs where we work with kids, helping them with homework, working on basic reading and math skills, and doing arts and crafts and recreation. And so we really seek to support the academic success of these children and also overall support their families. And we offer adult English classes for women that also has a preschool readiness classroom for their children. And so through these programs, we just hope to see the academic success of these kids and empower women through really learning the English language and feeling comfortable out in the community.
Okay, so when I think about that, why is that, I can see why it's important to your clients. Why is that important to the community?
Yeah, I think there's so many reasons. If we look at the educational aspect for the kids, it's so important that they're getting the help they need. It's helping them and their families and their overall success, but it's also supporting the school system and teachers in the school. Hopefully we connect with them and we find out what do these students need to really lead them to success. And so it's taking a little bit of that burden off of hopefully the school system to not do this by themselves. And I think overall it benefits the whole community, because with the English language classes, we want women to feel capable to go out and form relationships and know how to navigate life here. And so, yeah, we just feel that it benefits the families, the entire community through these skills and through supporting these families.
Karen, I know that Le Passé looks at an absolute ton of applications and has to really narrow them down. Multinational Memphis didn't have any kind of relationship with Le Passé. None of our members knew them, anything. They were brand new. Why did we choose them?
So our committee that chooses who the grantees are going to go to really takes our mission statement and tries to run each program that we get an application for through that. And it just hit on every level, because it was not only helping children, it was helping the mothers too. And that's so important to know that mothers coming here from another country that don't know the language, they need support as well as the kids. So it was pretty much a no-brainer.
Well, I was going to say, when she said children and families a minute ago, that absolutely aligns. It really does.
And what they were requesting was for their after-school SMARTS program, which was an art program. It was something that we could provide the funds where you could then provide the materials these children needed for that program. And we just really embraced it. And then when we went and toured the facility after we'd already determined they were going to receive a grant, we were so blown away after hearing Lori Graves' story, how she got started, and then hearing some stories about some families that have come through there. That was really, we were so glad we had the opportunity to partner with you. It was a blessing for us.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think it really was a dual blessing there. I really do, and that's a good thing. One of the things that surprised me reading your website was about the bus issue. I really was stunned. Talk about this bus and talk about the fundraiser that you used to support it.
Yeah, so for many, many years we've provided transportation to and from our programs for the families, which is a very valuable piece to our program. We had funding for it up until the end of 2022, and so then we had to kind of figure out how do we do this on our own. And so we had to buy a 45-passenger bus, and along with that, there's so much that goes into the total cost of that. It's paying the drivers, it's paying the insurance, the upkeep of the bus, and for the number of days that we have programmed throughout the year. So we're still working on really funding that part of our program fully. And so we have utilized our soup fundraiser as a way to fund this really, I think, tangible piece of like our program that, when you give, you're supporting that these kids are going to be able to come to our program and receive the help that they need.
And the Soup Fest.
Yes.
The date, I mean, that's an interesting thing all along. All the details are on your website.
Yes.
But the date that you get the soup is the 23rd of November, is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's the delivery date.
So this is a current fundraiser that we all need to be aware of and start registering for. Yes. And by the way, when I read your list of soups, oh my gosh.
I know.
And they are international, which is, fits right with your mission and is a step in the right direction and very different for many of us, it is. Tell me about your shirt that you have on.
Oh, yes. Well, actually, the shirt that I'm wearing, one of our board members had these made for us. This was a part of our most recent campaign for fundraising we did back in May. Yeah, so it's got our logo, Multinational Memphis, being good neighbors with the world in Memphis.
That's a great slogan, and it certainly summarizes what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you for the excellent work you do.
Thank you.
I can't wait to have soup, by the way.
Me too.
Soup on the 23rd of November. Sounds great. And so anybody that likes to taste anything different and support a great cause.
Yes.
If I wanted to volunteer for you, if I wanted to donate, where would I go to look that up?
Yeah, on our website we have a page dedicated to the soup fundraiser and general donations, and then we have a page where you can reach out for how to get in touch with us on how to volunteer. And on our social media pages, I'm posting when I'm having regular volunteer meetings to introduce people to what it means to become a volunteer.
Okay, that sounds perfect. Well, I certainly would go look too, and that's multinationalmemphis.org, right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the great work you do, and thank you, Les Passé, for supporting
Thank you.
this great work.
We have really enjoyed it.
Thank you both very much for being here today with us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you for being with us today for Inspiring Leaders. We appreciate our guests on today's show, Karen Whittington, Janine Carney, both with Les Passé, and Devin Schneep with Multinational Memphis. Now please remember to support both Les Passé and Multinational Memphis, both excellent organizations that directly benefit our community. And both of these groups would certainly appreciate your volunteer hours as well as your financial gifts. You can find more information on Multinational Memphis at multinationalmemphis.org. Take a look and give your help. And if you'd like to donate or to get further information on Les Passé, their website is lpmemphis.org. And oh, by the way, on their website you can also find all the details on the Les Passé Stock Exchange, address, dates, hours of operation, and again, that's lespassememphis.org. If you're interested in the air dates of Inspiring Leaders or for our station's complete programming information, visit GHS-TV.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can keep up with GHS-TV by visiting our website. We hope you'll like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you again for joining us. Be sure to watch our show, Inspiring Leaders, again next month.